Hello, welcome to the channel. My name is Brent, and this is a review of the 2020 Bad Boy Rebel with a 35 horsepower Kawasaki engine and 72-inch deck. I want to take a few minutes to tell you a couple of things about the channel and things that you will see and will not see. As many of you has noticed, many YouTubers will pressure wash and spit shine their machines before they put it on camera. I find that to be okay, but a little bit comical. We all know that when you use equipment, it gets dirty and you cannot help it. So let it be said that this machine that I'm getting ready to review, I rinsed it off for you, and you can see how it looks after 26 hours. My dad once told me there's 3 types of equipment. There's residential, commercial, and country. And country gets the most use and most abuse. And this is country equipment. Okay, let's get right to the review. As you can tell, this is a very nice looking machine. The engineers did a good job. The extras I have ordered on this are the light kit on the sides and the light kit on the very front, and the Kawasaki 35 horsepower engine along with a suspension seat. As you can see, the Rebel does not have the torsion bars on the bottom. I'll get into a little bit of that later. I did also order the chute blocker, the advanced chute blocker. I like it a lot, and I'll touch on that a little bit here. I bought this mower in Coweta, Oklahoma at the tractor yard. They are very nice people. They worked with me well, very helpful, very knowledgeable. I recommend them. Go see them. Tell them Britton sent you. Okay, as I mentioned, this mower has 26 hours on it. Just wanted to show you that. And as you can see, it has water droplets on it from being rinsed off. And that's all I did to it, and brushed off most of the grass. Okay, this is the control panel. And you can see the hour meter, which turns to a tachometer when you start it and run it. Just the normal little digital display it has. On the top right-hand corner, it's a USB plug where you can charge your phones or iPad or run a camera or whatever you want to plug into USB. Down below it, you see 2 switches. Those are my lights for the side lights as well as for the front lights. Then you have your throttle control, and you have an oil light, low oil pressure light, which I like. Then you have the yellow PTO or blade engagement switch you pull to turn it on. This one has an odd situation. Most mowers, you run it up halfway throttle, engage the PTO, and then go ahead and go to full throttle. The manual on this one says to go to full throttle and then engage the PTO. And that's a little different. No problems there. It does it very nicely. Down below the yellow switch, you have your normal key start. And just one comment on the control panel. It's located behind your elbow. What I mean by that is when you're sitting in the seat, the control panel is almost behind you. It's not visible unless you completely turn past looking down and sideways. You actually have to turn around and look at the control panel. It's in a very awkward position. It's a great control panel. It's not a showstopper or no-go. It's just one of those points that I'm sure they save money by doing it this way. And but it makes the oil light useless because you can't see it while you're driving and looking forward. It will not catch your eye while you're mowing if it comes on. Okay, if you'll notice to the left, there's a dial with numbers on it. That's the deck height adjustment knob. It is the same that most of the mowers are going to nowadays. I'm not sure if I like it. I'm not sure if I don't like it. I have a Dixie Chopper Magnum 2250, also zero turn, that has a pin that you stick in the holes that you're used to seeing on like Skags or Dixie Choppers or commercial mowers, where you can adjust it per the number beside the hole. You just stick a pin in it. You understand what I'm talking about. But most of the manufacturers are now going to this. It seems less sturdy, less durable, but only time will tell. My John Deere 1025R has the same type of adjustment as this right here, and I absolutely hate it on it. It's hard to turn, it doesn't work. So far, this one is very easy to turn, very easy to indicate where you're at, what your mowing deck height is. But we'll get more into that a little bit later. Okay, if you look to the bottom left of the picture here, you'll see a handle. That is the deck release that allows it to go from its locked status down to the setting that you have on your deck height adjustment knob. It's right between the seat and this control panel wall. It's a little bit cumbersome. I'm a large fellow, and when I reach down to do it, my fist won't fit down in there hardly. It's just different. Most mowers, you push hard, it will release it, and then you can just let it down. This one actually has a handle you have to pull up on it. It's a little bit cumbersome, but again, it's not a showstopper or deal breaker. I'm sure they save money by doing it this way. Okay, this view shows the foot pedal that you push on to lock the deck in the up position. You can also see at the top of the screen, almost to the middle, to the right side of the seat. Actually, it would be the left side of the seat. In this view, the handle that I just talked about that you have to lift up to release the deck to go all the way down to mowing height. It's currently in the up position. One comment on this right here is, again, the engineering. You have to take off the foot pedal to be able to raise up the deck where your feet is to be able to see the deck, if that makes sense. There's another picture I'm showing it where the foot area is lifted up. All of you that have zero turns understand what I'm talking about. The problem being is that to lift the foot area up, you have to take off the foot pedal for raising the deck off. It's not a big deal. It's not a showstopper or deal breaker, but again, the engineering could have been better on this. My Dixie Chopper, you can lift up the foot area to reveal the deck belts without ever moving the foot pedal itself. If one company could do it, they all can. The only reason not to would be to save money. You can also see in this picture the footrest. It moves backwards and forwards. It's adjustable. Currently, it's set in the furthest most away from the seat position. Just to comment on the footrest. You would think it would not be a big deal, but it makes a difference. Being able to put your feet on that little platform gives you more stability on the mower. It also makes it very comfortable and relaxing when you mow. When you get off, your legs aren't hurting. It's a very big positive for this mower. Okay, this view is with the footrest raised up and pulled out of the way. This view only shows the belts and pulleys, but one huge thing about the Bad Boy that I love is that pulleys are greaseless. They are grease-free. You do not have to grease them, which means when you get out and get ready to mow, all you got to do is fill it up, check the oil, and get after it. I think this is a huge positive for this mower. They've done this since the very beginning, since they started manufacturing, from what I understand. So I'm going to find out if they're durable and reliable. Only time will tell. Okay, these are the belt covers and pulley covers. Most mowers have these. Actually, all mowers have these, but they don't have them like this. These, the engineers did a great job. They're a hard cover plastic that has knobs on the sides. I'm sure some knobs will be lost during mowing, but the ease of taking these covers off, I don't understand why engineers didn't do this from the very beginning back in the 60s when mowers were first coming out and for residential use. This is a game changer right here. Can't say enough about this right here. Good job, Bad Boy. Okay, moving on to the Reaper tires. I don't know what to say about these other than I love them. I have 14 acres. I have a pond dam I have to mow. There are some times on my 1025R that the pucker factor was very high. There are areas that I do not mow with my Dixie chopper. I can honestly say with these tires right here, this unit weighs 1,400 pounds, and it has gone everywhere except for one very dangerous place I have to mow with the tractor. But this mower has attacked all the hills and banks that go up to, I would say, 50 to 60 degrees, and it handled it with no problems. The tires will rip up the lawn if you're not careful, but if you have acreage that has inclines and banks on it, these are the tires, and this is the mower you want. I can't say enough about these tires. A lot of people make fun of them because they look like UTV tires or ATV tires, and they wonder why you want these on a zero turn. Well, I can tell you why you want them on a zero turn is banks and inclines. It will hold just about any incline, and that's a big positive for me. Okay, this is just a picture of the rear end of the mower. Nothing special here. The Kawasaki 35 horsepower engine, the air cleaner system, which I'll touch on here in a second. This is just a simple picture to let you see what the back end of it looks like, and we'll move on. Okay, this is the advanced chute system, chute blocker. I had this put on from the factory. It does help with keeping dirt and grass clippings from off of sidewalks, out of flower beds, off of patios, and also it protects you as a homeowner when you're mowing on the side of the road and you don't want to kick up a pop can or beer bottle or whatever else you might accidentally run over and hit a car. It'll protect you from doing that. You don't want to, generally speaking, mow the lawn with it down. It will make little furrows like a hay meadow. But otherwise, I consider it a big positive. You'll want this on your mower. Okay, this is looking underneath the seat. The seat's raised up. You can see to the far left the Mower Deck pulleys. Underneath the water jet cut logos of the Bad Boy image is the Hydro Gear ZT4400, I believe, hydraulic pumps that drives the wheels. There's no problem with these pumps. These are good commercial pumps. They propel this mower probably around 12 miles an hour, according to Bad Boy. I couldn't argue with that. I haven't done a speedometer check, but it will get on down the road. Okay, this is a view from the back side of the mower looking forward. You can see the PTO engagement clutch. And if you'll look closely in this picture, You can see the Hydro Gear hydraulic pumps, and I see an area that Bad Boy needs to think about improving or doing something about. If you notice, there's grass up underneath the hydro pumps. I didn't rinse it out on purpose because I wanted to show you the area. This grass will potentially overheat the pumps and or sit there and rust if you don't routinely clean this out. This is an area that I have identified that's going to be an issue sooner or later. It may not be a big issue, but it will be an issue of accumulation of dirt, grass, and grit that will have to be continually cleaned out. Okay, the next two pictures are essentially the same view. I'm just giving you a little different viewpoints of the area that I feel like that needs to be improved from Bad Boy and needs some cleaning out continuously from the owner. But on a side note, if you move up to the Rogue or the Renegade in the Bad Boy line, you won't have this issue because you'll have the 3-link suspension. And that piece of metal that's trapping the grass will not be there. Okay, this picture just shows the roll bar. No comments on that. It's just a simple roll bar. This is a picture of the back bumper and the cutout of the Bad Boy logo. The only comment I have about this is the bumpers that come on these mowers are affixed to the mower in a very non-commercial way. This bumper right here I've already knocked off at least once while going through a ditch. Just a piece of information. I've reattached it with a little bit larger washer and put it on there, so we'll see what happens. Okay, moving on to the Mower Deck and the anti-scalp wheels. These are the ones that most manufacturers put on their decks. This is a 72-inch deck, and I would much rather have something that is more adjustable than just 3 positions. My lawn is not the smoothest. It's a country lawn. It does a lot of scalping, and the rollers doesn't prevent that. If your lawn is smooth, there'll be no issues. This mower will be great for you. If you have a rough lawn, you may get frustrated because of the scalping. As it undulates from side to side, it'll scalp. That's the only thing that I really have anything to say bad about this mower, is that I wish I had more adjustment for the anti-scalp wheels so I could stop the undulation from side to side and stop the scalping. Otherwise, this mower is awesome. The cut on the grass is smooth and silky. In fact, my neighbors have already stopped by and mentioned how different my lawn looks and asked if I had been cutting it different, and they're not knowing I had gotten a new mower. It's golf course quality cut, but you also need to have a smooth lawn, which I don't. If you live in the country, you understand why you don't have smooth lawns. I mow about 3 acres, just my lawn, and there's another 10 acres that I have to mow that's pasture. I cannot say enough about the cut being top-notch. This is a mower that has a golf course cut quality for just a little bit of money. Okay, moving on to the suspension seat. This comes standard with the Kawasaki engine if you order the Kawasaki engine. I don't have the words or the vocabulary to express how much I love this seat. I'm ridden mowers for many, many years, and I always thought that the guys that said you need the suspension seat were just trying to feed me a line. But now that I've had one, I won't ever go back. It's something that I have to have. It makes it where you get through mowing, you can feel like you need to go another 3 or 4 hours. You're ready to do it some more. And if you enjoy mowing, you have to have one of these seats. I promise you, it's worth the $300 or $400 that it costs extra. Do it. You will not regret it any bit at all. Okay, here's a view of the handle that releases the deck from the transport height, as well as the guideways for the handles for the drives. Pretty simple. We'll move on. This picture is of the choke pull handle, as well as the emergency brake handle, and another guide for the drives for the hydraulics. What we have here is a picture of the cup holder on the left-hand side of the seat and the fuel level indicator. It has dual tanks, holds about 13 gallons. It seems to me that after it gets past half full, it goes down very, very quickly. I'd rather have dual tanks with two different indicators. These tanks are both feed gas to the engine. It's supposed to keep it level, equal fuel in each tank. But the fuel level indicator, it doesn't give you an accurate measurement of time left, really. I'd rather have dual tanks with a petcock valve that you can switch between tanks, and then have dual indicators, fuel indicators, level indicators, that shows how much fuel's in each tank than this setup. This setup is a little bit confusing. It's just a little bit of an annoyance. It's not a showstopper, like I said, but it is what it is. Okay, this is a picture of the fuel cap, and if you notice, there's a little ledge at the bottom of the picture. You have to get your fuel can up and over that ledge to be able to fill the tank. Just an observation, that's all. Here's a picture of the drive handles, the forward and backwards, as well as also the adjustments on the fly, the knobs that's to each side of the name Rebel. You can adjust the speed so that when you push both levers forward, that you're not going sideways, or you'll go in a straight line versus going sideways. We all know about zero turns, and if they're off camber, how you can kind of drive to the left or drive to the right. This will allow you to adjust them to where you drive straight. Here's another view of the same thing. The knobs allows you to adjust the how much speed you're having per handle. The knobs that are up on the levers themselves, that allows you to adjust them forwards and backwards, depending on your arm length, whatever is most comfortable for you. That's a pretty handy little feature. Both features are pretty handy. Here is a feature that I love. This is the air filter. It is a dual air filter setup. It's set up like most tractors are. My John Deere 1025R has the dual filter setup like this. This is a huge improvement over most lawnmowers that have just a canister, not a canister, but it has like a cartridge filter, and you have to take it out and shake it and blow it out and things like this. This filter right here is top notch, and it's definitely a huge improvement over the cartridge filter. Okay, this shows the Bad Boy's oil change drain line, and this is at the back of the engine. You can see the muffler at the top of the picture, and you can see the oil filter to the right. The only thing I have to say about this, it's very handy to get to. The problem being is that the hose wants to go to what's in the picture to the left, which is actually up. And what it does, it gets above the hole that is actually draining the oil, so oil will not run uphill, so it won't drain. So you have to sit there and hold it down to the right where that little crease in the metal is, which is actually at a downward slope, to get the oil to drain out. They should went with a hard line or something to the back of the engine, because when you let go of the hose, it wants to go back up to the top where it's sitting at now. The oil stops draining. So you have to sit there and hold the hose the whole time it's draining, or find something like a box or something. I used a little box to hold it down to the bottom of the valley there so the oil will drain. Just a little bit of a pain, not a showstopper, but it's something the engineers could address in the future. That's just, it would be nice to have something that would drain the oil. You could open it up and let it drain and come back later and it's all out. The way it is now, you have to either put something there to hold the hose in place or hold it yourself so the oil will drain out. Just an observation. Okay, let me summarize my review here. For the money of this mower, I don't think you can find anyone anywhere that can match the value that you get for the amount of money you spend on the Bad Boy. The cut is superior. The power is amazing. I've mowed some very high grass in the pasture with this mower. You cannot bog it down. The engine is fabulous. The tires have plenty of grip for some very large hills and banks that I mow. Yes, it does have some small issues with the engineering of certain things, but they are small in comparison to exactly how good this mower is. I, again, don't have the vocabulary to properly explain what I'm trying to say. I'll try to get some videos to show you how it mows, but it will mow at full speed on any lawn that you pick. It is indeed a great mower. Thank you for watching, and like and subscribe if you like it. I'll come up with more videos of mowing, tractor videos, a little bit of everything. Thank you again.